me tell you something out there in Lazo Line. If you think that he's not going to tax people below $400,000 a year, so Pete Buttigieg, and by the way, his last name is not lost on me. I really want to make fun of it, but I'm not going to. I'm going to take the high road, not the easy road. Says just last week, Transportation Secretary Mayor Pete floated a funding idea for President Potato's upcoming multi-trillion-dollar infrastructure bill that would hit poor and middle-class Americans the hardest. You know what that is, right? He suggested a mileage tax. Oh, that'll be great. Because, the people who commute to work, outside, large cities, that won't affect them. Oh, yeah, it will. To thousands upon thousands of dollars a year. Which is based on what he called user pays principle. That idea, that part of how we pay for roads is you pay based on how much you drive. Drivers would thus be hit with this tax in addition to facing steadily climbing gas prices since the potato took office. Now, those gas prices are climbing because, I don't know, he stopped the Keystone XL pipeline and whatever he signed in his 19,000 executive orders that day. Of course, gas prices are going to go up, but let's blame something else, right? Well, what's interesting about this user pays principle, it's like happened with the cigarette tax. You started taxing people more on cigarettes, but people kept smoking. Of course, the prices rise. And there's also on the inverse where people just stopped smoking for whatever reasons. They either died or they just stopped because of health reasons. And you don't get as much money from that cigarette tax. But then you tax it more for the people. See, people are still going to drive regardless. But who's it going to hit the hardest? The people who are at the lower end of the economic scale. So you're going to raise the prices on stuff such as cigarettes, taxes to the government, which affects poor people significantly more than, say, people who are well off and have means to purchase those items. Same thing with cars. You raise the gas prices as per the taxing per mile, but whatever that can be. He talked about $1 a mile. So let's say you travel to work 50 miles, let's say 100 miles a day. 50 miles there, 50 miles back. That's $100 per day. Let's say for the work week. And say you're looking at thousands upon thousands of dollars like every quarter. Doesn't seem too fair to the local, working class, does it? Well, it won't affect those people who live in large cities who usually vote Democrat. Interesting. But you're still going to lose money. Now he's walking back the suggestion. In an interview with CNN's Jake Tapper, on Monday, this former South Bend, Indiana mayor said mileage tax is not part of the conversation about this infrastructure bill. But then again, Pete, why say it was? Or you were thinking about it? Because you were. So just want to make sure that this is really clear, but you will be hearing a lot more details in the coming days about how we envision being able to fund this. And again, these are careful thought through responsibility, right. Ideas that ultimately are going to win for the economy. What? And need to be compared to the unaffordable costs of the status quo. How is it going to be? You're going to take more money out of my pocket to fund a bridge to nowhere, or shovel ready wasn't as shovel ready as we thought. What? He then reiterated Biden's pledge to not raise taxes on those earning under $400,000 a year. Let me tell you something out there in Lazo Line. If you think that he's not going to tax people below $400,000 a year, you're insane. Because there's not that many people who make $400,000 a year and above compared to those who make $399,999 and below. And you think those people aren't going to... You see, people who make that much money can finagle their way to drop that number under the $400,000 threshold. They're going to drop it somehow. It's going to affect you somehow. Believe you and me, it will affect you somehow. One thing I will do to reiterate the president's commitment that his proposals will not raise taxes at all on anyone making under $400,000 a year. Bullshit. Buttigieg told the host, if you're making less than $400,000 a year, this proposal will not involve a tax increase on you. But wait a minute, how are you going to fund it if one of your first thought that comes to your stupid goofball head was a mileage tax up to $1 a mile? And then again, how are you going to track that? Do you say? Are you going to put devices on the car which significantly rises or drives up the price? Or are you just going to take it on everyone's honor that you're going to tell the truth on how many miles a day you've drove? That's just, and by the way, that mileage tax, I'm just talking about to work. I'm not talking about, hey, let's go on vacation. Oh. Is that mileage tax for, let's say, air travel as well? Train travel? Bus travel? Maybe. You don't know. That increases the prices on everybody who takes the bus, who takes the train, or basically has to drive into an airport and then commute by airplane, let's say. Airline pilots, for example. That's going to raise the prices for them. Oh, but they make more than $400,000 a year. Not all of them. So he basically backtracks on the mileage tax. That's not part of the conversation. Bullshit. It's always been part of the conversation. It will continue to be the part of the conversation. And to let you know, okay, his mileage tax, he stated, shows a lot of promise. You know that they floated that idea out there and it met with resistance. Now they're going to try something else. But at the end result is that mileage tax is going to be something similar to what Pete, or Mayor Pete, suggested. Believe you and me, when it comes to raising taxes on you, the leftist Democrat douchebags are all about it, and you only have yourself to blame who voted for this goddamn piece of shit potato.